All right, welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Always exciting.
This time we're looking at the UFC,
Specifically,
specifically Khamzat Chimaev and his road to a potential title shot.
yeah, definitely a contender to watch right now. Big time.
So Chimaev, he's 16-0,
Yeah.
8-0 in the UFC.
Yeah.
Just an absolute beast.
Undefeated.
For those maybe not super familiar with his style,
Right.
can you kind of break down what makes him so dominant?
Well, I think, he's got this relentless grappling approach.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, he's like a human python, just constantly squeezing, applying pressure.
Yeah, and we saw it.
Not just taking guys down, but controlling them on the ground.
Especially against Robert Whittaker, former champ
Right.
at UFC 308.
Absolutely. I mean, Whittaker, known for his striking, and Chimaev just,
Couldn't stop those takedowns.
neutralized him completely. It was a real statement win, I think.
That solidified him as the #1 contender.
I think so, yeah.
And now he's got a confirmed title opportunity
Huge.
against the winner of Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland.
Yep. Can't wait for that one.
Happening February 8th, 2025 at UFC 312.
Yeah, talk about a stacked card.
Big stakes, huge fight.
Absolutely. And, you've got du Plessis coming off a surprising title win. Strickland's fought his way back.
Yeah,
You throw Chimaev into the mix, it just makes things so interesting.
absolutely. It really shakes things up.
Yeah, the whole division's kind of in flux right now.
Now, before we get too far ahead,
Sure.
let's rewind a little bit.
Okay.
Chimaev's journey so far.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out of nowhere in 2020.
Yeah, like a whirlwind, right?
3 wins in 66 days.
Just incredible.
Instant sensation.
Yeah, everybody was talking about him.
Since then, wins over Gilbert Burns, Kamaru Usman,
Big names.
big names.
Yeah. Real contenders.
And it's not just who he's beat, it's how he's doing it.
Exact.
You mentioned that human python analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us some specific examples of the techniques that he uses?
Yeah. I mean, one of his signature moves is what's called the Dagestani handcuff,
Okay.
where he traps the opponent's arm and leg,
Ooh.
really limits their movement, sets up submissions, ground and pound.
Brutal.
Also a master of chain wrestling, transitions between takedowns seamlessly.
So he's always one step ahead.
Yeah, it's like he's always anticipating what his opponent's going to do.
Now, this upcoming title fight,
Right.
potentially happening later in 2025, due to Ramadan,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that'll affect his momentum at all?
It's certainly something to consider.
Yeah.
Ramadan falls early 2025, and Chimaev's deeply committed to his faith.
Of course, yeah.
It's great that the UFC respects that, willing to work around it,
Yeah,
but it could mean a longer wait.
right.
And, staying sharp, maintaining that focus, it's crucial.
Especially since,
Yeah.
du Plessis and Strickland,
Tough opponents.
very different fighters.
For sure.
Let's shift gears a little bit. Talk about those two.
Hmm.
What are their strengths? What kind of challenges do they pose?
Well, you start with du Plessis.
Mm-hmm.
He's a powerful striker, real knockout power.
Yeah.
Very durable, too, never been finished.
And Strickland?
Strickland, tough, gritty, strong chin,
Mm-hmm.
primarily a striker.
Yeah,
Pretty good takedown defense.
yeah.
But against Chimaev, he's going to have to be at his absolute best defensively if he wants to avoid being taken down and controlled.
So you got a striker with knockout power
Yeah.
in du Plessis,
Right.
volume striker, strong chin in Strickland.
Yeah,
They both represent very different challenges for Chimaev.
absolutely. I mean, that's what makes this title picture so intriguing.
Right.
3 fighters, each with distinct strengths and weaknesses.
A real clash of styles.
It's a chess match, It's all about who can implement their game plan.
Now, of course, we can't talk about Chimaev without mentioning his popularity.
Oh, yeah, he's a fan favorite.
It's not just because he's winning. There's an aura around him.
He's got that it factor.
It's like he's inevitable.
Yeah, you just get the sense that he's going to win no matter what.
It's captivating to watch.
I mean, there's a raw intensity.
Yeah.
It's almost primal.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just looking to win, he's looking to dominate,
Yeah, break his opponents.
Exactly, and people are drawn to that.
And those quick finishes, the highlight reel moments.
Oh, yeah, definitely contributes to his appeal.
In a sport where decisions
Mm-hmm.
can sometimes leave fans feeling unsatisfied,
Right.
the Chimaev provides that finality.
Yeah, that sense of closure.
And that's what people crave.
Absolutely, and he's incredibly marketable.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got that, like we said, that it factor.
He's a natural.
Yeah.
And that makes him so dangerous.
He's not just a fighter, he's an entertainer, and that's key.
Yeah,
In today's UFC, you got to be able to capture the audience.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked about his dominance, his style, his fan appeal.
Right.
But the big question,
Yeah.
can anyone stop him?
That is the million-dollar question.
He's looked unstoppable so far.
He has.
He's cleared a path to the top,
Right.
but now he's facing a whole new level of competition.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think du Plessis or Strickland have what it takes to pull off an upset?
It's certainly possible.
Yeah.
They're both experienced veterans. They got a lot to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Du Plessis, that knockout power,
Right.
could end a fight in an instant.
Yeah.
Strickland's durability, his volume striking, could pose problems.
If he can keep it standing,
Big if.
big if.
Yeah.
If they can't stop those takedowns, it's going to be a long night.
Oh, yeah. Chimaev's pressure, it's relentless. It's
Uh-huh.
not just about the initial takedown.
It's that constant threat.
Exactly. The mental pressure. It
Ah.
wears opponents down.
They start making mistakes.
Yeah. It's like he's playing chess and everyone else is playing checkers.
He's always a few steps ahead.
Yeah. Real high fight IQ.
So strategically speaking,
Yep.
what would du Plessis and Strickland need to do to have a chance?
Well, for Du Plessis,
Yeah.
keep the fight at range.
Yeah.
Use his footwork, avoid the takedown, land that big shot.
Right.
Make Chimaev respect his power.
Okay.
Prevent him from closing the distance.
And Strickland, what's his path?
Strickland, he's got to utilize that jab,
Yeah.
leg kicks, keep Chimaev at bay.
Keep him away.
Be prepared to scramble if he does get taken down.
Right.
Use his wrestling to get back to his feet.
So basically, they both need to fight the perfect fight.
Pretty much, yeah.
No mistakes.
One slip up, one moment of hesitation,
So-
and Chimaev's going to capitalize.
Sounds daunting.
It is, but that's what makes this title picture so exciting.
Absolutely. Anything can happen in the octagon.
We've seen upsets before,
Mm-hmm.
both Du Plessis and Strickland. They're capable,
Yeah.
but it's going to take a Herculean effort.
To overcome that dominance.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's shift gears a bit. Talk about the broader implications of Chimaev's potential rise.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about his grappling.
Right.
Could this signal a shift towards a more grappling-heavy era in the UFC?
It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen these cycles in MMA
Yeah.
where different styles have dominated, right?
Yeah.
Striking had its moment, then wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Now it seems like grappling is having a resurgence.
And Chimaev is leading the charge.
He's at the forefront, for sure.
Yeah.
I think his success is inspiring a whole new generation of grapplers.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it could lead to a more diverse and exciting landscape.
Now, of course, MMA is constantly evolving.
Oh, absolutely.
Fighters are adapting,
All the time.
innovating.
Right.
What works today might not work tomorrow.
That's the beauty of it.
You never know.
It's unpredictable, keeps you on the edge of your seat.
All right, so we talked about his dominance,
Yeah.
challengers,
Mm-hmm.
implications for the future of MMA.
Right.
I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
Sure.
His marketability.
Yeah.
This guy's got star power.
Undeniable.
Where do you see him going from here?
I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
He could be a global superstar.
Mm-hmm.
He's already a fan favorite. But with a UFC title,
Yeah.
his popularity would just explode.
Did he be the next,
The face of the UFC?
the next Conor McGregor?
Potentially. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got that same charisma, that ability to connect.
Yeah.
And his fighting style, it's made for viral moments.
He's a promoter's dream.
Absolutely. Those finishes, that intensity.
It's box office gold.
And beyond the UFC, I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking movies, endorsements,
Wow.
maybe even politics down the road.
It's amazing to think
Yeah.
how far he's come in such a short time.
From relative unknown
Mm-hmm.
to a potential global icon,
Yeah.
it's been a meteoric rise.
For those listening
Mhm.
who are still trying to grasp the magnitude of his potential,
Right.
what's the one key takeaway you want them to remember?
I think the main takeaway is that we're witnessing something special.
Yeah.
Khamzat Chimaev,
Hmm.
once-in-a-generation talent.
Yeah,
He has the potential to change the face of MMA,
for sure.
whether he becomes a dominant champion
Ready.
or faces setbacks.
Yep.
His journey is going to be one worth watching.
He's a disruptor, a game changer, a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
But the conversation doesn't have to end here.
Of course not.
We encourage you to continue exploring this topic.
Yeah. Watch his fights, form your own opinions.
What do you think his place is in the sport?
Yeah.
What's his potential impact?
Yeah. Lots to think about.
Absolutely. And until next time,
Keep training.
keep learning.
Keep that fighting spirit alive.
We'll be back with more on Khamzat Chimaev soon.
Can't wait. I mean, just he's a natural, that raw talent, you just can't teach it.
No, you can't. And that magnetism, it all adds to how dangerous he is.
Right. It's a package deal.
He's not just a fighter.
No.
He's an entertainer.
And that's key. Like we were saying in today's UFC, Gotta capture the audience.
You gotta stand out, yeah.
You got it.
So, okay, we talked about his dominance.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about his style,
Yeah.
his fan appeal.
Yeah.
But elephant in the room.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Can anyone stop this guy?
The million-dollar question. Right.
He's looked unstoppable.
He really has, yeah.
He's cleared a path to the top, but now he's facing
A whole new level.
whole new level of competition.
For sure.
Do Du Plessis or Strickland have the tools to pull off the upset?
It's possible. I mean, they're both experienced.
Yeah, they're veterans.
A lot to prove.
They want that belt.
Du Plessis, he's got that one-punch knockout power.
Always a threat.
You can't count him out.
And Strickland, that durability.
Right, he can take a shot.
That volume striking.
If he can keep it standing.
That's the big if.
It is. If he can't stop those takedowns.
It's going to be a long night.
Long night for either of them. Yeah. Chimaev's pressure. It's suffocating. It's not just the takedown itself.
It's the threat of it.
Exactly. That mental pressure, it gets to guys.
You start making mistakes.
You get tired, you get frustrated, and then boom, Chimaev capitalizes.
So, like we were saying before, it's like he's playing chess.
And they're playing checkers.
Always a few steps ahead.
Yeah, his fight IQ is off the charts.
It's not just brute strength.
No, there's real strategy there.
Okay, strategically speaking then.
Okay, yeah.
What do these guys need to do
To have a chance.
to have a chance?
Well, for Du Plessis,
Mm-hmm.
he's got to keep the fight at range,
Bro,
use that footwork, avoid the takedown, and land that big shot.
make Chimaev respect it.
Exactly. Got to make him hesitant to close the distance.
What about Strickland? What's his path?
Strickland, he's got to be busy, use that jab, those leg kicks,
Keep him away.
keep Chimaev at bay, and if he does get taken down,
Right.
got to be ready to scramble, get back to his feet.
So they got to fight perfect fights, basically.
Pretty much, yeah, no room for error.
One mistake,
One little slip up
Chimaev's going to capitalize.
every time.
That's daunting.
It is, but like I said, that's what makes it exciting, right?
Yeah, anything can happen in there.
We've seen upsets. Both these guys are capable,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to take a Herculean effort.
To overcome Chimaev.
No doubt about it.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit.
Sounds good.
We talked about, Chimaev's grappling,
Mm-hmm.
his impact on the division.
Right.
Could his success signal a shift,
A shift.
towards more grappling in the UFC?
Mhm.
Like a whole new era,
That's an interesting thought. I mean, we've seen these cycles before.
right? Different styles dominating.
Yeah, we had the strikers, then the wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Now it seems like grappling is making a comeback.
And Chimaev is leading the charge.
He's definitely at the forefront of it, yeah.
It's inspiring.
It is. A whole new generation of grapplers coming up.
That's exciting for the sport.
It is. Could lead to a more diverse, more exciting landscape.
But, MMA is always evolving.
Oh, yeah. It never stops.
Fighters adapt.
Always got to be one step ahead.
What works today?
Might not work tomorrow.
That's what keeps it so unpredictable.
That's the beauty of it. You never know what's going to happen.
So we talked about Chimaev's dominance,
Mm-hmm.
his potential challengers,
Right.
the implications for the future of MMA.
Yep.
I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
His marketability.
Yes.
This guy is a star.
He's got it. That's hard to deny.
Where do you see him going from here?
Man, the sky's the limit with this guy.
He wins the title.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
Global superstardom, I think.
Wow.
He's already popular, but with the belt, forget about it.
Could he be the face of the UFC?
Easily, he's got that potential.
The next Conor McGregor?
He's got that charisma, that connection with the audience.
In his fighting style?
Made for those highlight reels.
Look what people want to see.
And beyond the UFC, there's movies, endorsements.
You could do it all.
I think so. He's a multi-talented guy.
It's amazing how far he's come.
In such a short time, yeah, it's remarkable.
From relative unknown,
To a potential global icon.
it's been a meteoric rise.
It really has.
For those listening who are still trying to,
Grasp the magnitude.
grasp it all,
Yeah.
what's the one key takeaway?
I think the key takeaway is that we're watching something special.
Mhm.
Khamzat Chimaev,
Official talent.
once in a generation
Uh-huh.
type of fighter.
Yeah,
He could change the face of MMA,
absolutely.
whether he becomes a dominant champ
Right.
or faces setbacks along the way.
It's a journey worth watching.
It is, no doubt about it.
He's a disruptor, a game changer.
A force to be reckoned with.
And on that note, I think we'll leave it there for now.
Sounds good.
But the conversation doesn't have to end here.
No, not at all.
We encourage you to keep exploring.
Watch his fights. Form your own opinions.
Where do you think he fits into the sport? What's his potential impact?
Big questions.
Big questions. And we'll be back soon with more on Khamzat Chimaev.
Can't
Man, it's been wild,
really have.
analyzing Chimaev's journey this potential impact on the UFC.
He's a captivating figure. There's no doubt about it.
For our listeners who might be thinking like, okay, I want to delve deeper.
Right.
Where should they go? What resources would you suggest?
Well, the UFC's YouTube channel.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I mean, it's a treasure trove, right?
It's amazing.
Hours of fights, interviews, you name it.
You can find everything there.
You get a real sense of his style, his personality, the whole UFC landscape.
And if you're more visual, there's nothing like watching him fight.
Oh, yeah, you got to see it to believe it.
His fights are must-see TV.
That aggressive style, it's a masterclass.
And beyond YouTube, I mean, there are tons of MMA websites.
Yeah, for sure.
Podcasts like MMA Junkie, ESPN, MMA, SureDog.
Great resources.
Keep you up to date.
And then, of course, social media.
Yeah, can't forget that.
Twitter, Instagram.
Follow the fighters, the analysts.
All the latest happening.
It's a whole community out there, so there's really no excuse.
Nope.
Not to dive deeper.
Get involved.
All right, fight fans, that's a wrap.
Sad to see it end.
On our deep dive into Khamzat Chimaev's title, Destiny.
It's been a journey.
We covered a lot: his rise,
his style,
his upcoming challenges, his impact on the sport,
and beyond.
Absolutely. It's been a fascinating conversation.
It really has.
And as always,
hit us up.
We want to hear from you.
What are your thoughts?
What do you think about Chimaev's future?
Will he be champion?
Will he usher in a new era of grappling?
Share your predictions, your analysis.
These burning questions.
We're all ears.
Hit us up on social media.
Leave a comment.
Send us an email.
We love hearing from you guys.
Until next time, keep training, keep learning.
Keep that fighting spirit alive.
And we'll see you soon.